Yeah.
What's going on, folks? We're live back on YouTube finally. A little bit of brief of hiatus from our Super Bowl show, where we cover the Super Bowl and we predict on who would win. We're past that now. We're on to March Madness. And we like to kick this off with a reaction to the Selection Sunday show that just happened probably about an hour and a half ago. So we're here for that. Because, hey, now in SIN, it's March Madness Extravaganza. We're kicking off once again.
You know what that calls for?
Go ahead, Bill.
Applause!
Yes. It calls for applause. And I think Mark just went deaf in one ear from the applause. He's cleaning out his ears right now, so we'll have him come in one moment. But once again, yes, this is SIN's March Extravaganza. I can't pronounce words right now. We're reacting once again to the Sunday Selection show. We have Bill here. I mentioned Mark here. Who else is here? Bring yourselves in.
Well, we have the pun master. I'll talk for him since he's silent. We have the pun
I was
master
trying
at
to
the bottom.
be nice to certain people, but I'm here. Hi, America. How are you?
Old Ops guy, what's up?
Hey, Danny boy. Fresh out the box. Let's get this going.
Yes, guys. We've reached something that we've been waiting for because, hey, yes, we got baseball finally, and that will be discussed tomorrow on SIN Sports Insanity podcast, where we'll give our reaction to baseball getting their new deal done finally, which took way too long. But guys, it's the greatest thing in March Madness. You guys ready for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
this season, yes.
All right. Well, as we all know, 64 colleges get to be part of this tournament. But hey, before that tournament gets started, there are the good old 4 play-in games. So, Bill, take that away and discuss who is playing who for those coveted 4 spots in the NCAA tournament for each region.
Well, the first game is going to be Tuesday night, March 15th. And it is going to be between the Texas A&M Aggies and the
Right.
Hold on, please. And the
Bill, it's not the Aggies. It's Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Correct.
The Aggies are one of the teams who just missed, but
Right.
shouldn't have been.
And it's going to be Texas and the Tigers of Texas Southern. Texas Southern, their statistics are 69.2 points per game, 39.5 rebounds per game, 10.7 assistants per game, 5.6 steals per game, 5.0 blocks per game, 14.09 turnovers a game, 43.7 field goal percentage, 67.1 free throw percentage, and 31.7 3-point percentage. It feels like I said the same thing, but I didn't. And the points leaders for the Texas Southern Tigers are John Walker III, forward at 9.9 points per game. Bryson Gresham, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, sir. At forward, 6.8 rebounds. The assist is Jordan Gilliam at 2.2 points, and PJ Henry, the guard, at 1.0, and Bryson Gresham again leading the team in blocks at 2.2. And for the Aggies of Texas A&M, the Aggies of
It's not A&M. It's A&M Corpus Christi.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Did you just say crispy? Krispy Kreme donuts, bro.
I'm sorry,
Really?
I couldn't hold that laugh in.
Not sponsored.
whoa.
Okay, I got the wrong team. Thank you, Rifkin.
I mean, it's what I do.
Um,
Texas A&M, who lost in the SEC tournament final today to Tennessee, did not make the tournament.
okay, hold on, I'm going to fix that. I apologize to our viewers.
It's all good, Billy. Sometimes we don't get the right Texas because you know what? There are so many colleges in Texas we can't figure out who's in, who's out, who's on the left, who's on the right, who's up, who's upside down.
I was about to say, Patchy, if you say there's more than one Texas in the United States, we got a problem.
God bless the great state of
Texas colleges.
There you go.
You know what? We can debate that there's two Texases if we split Texas in half: North Texas, South Texas, East Texas, West Texas.
There you go.
We'll give Texas their own four corner states, just like how everyone says California should be two or four separate
so
states.
For Texas A&M Corpus Christi, aka Texas A&M Body of Christ, I sit the points per game is 76.9 for the Texas Corpus Christi Islanders. 38.4 rebounds, 15 assists, 8.5 steals, 1.7 blocks, 14.2 turnovers, 44.5 field goals, 74.4 free throw, and 33.5 three-pointers. And the leaders for the Texas A&M Corpus Christi
You gotta stop with the crispy.
You gotta really, dude.
The Corpus Christi Islanders, Isaac Mashula, 13.5 points. He also leads the team in rebounds with 9.5. The assists are led by Trenton Murdix at 3.8. Trenton Murdix leads the steals again at 1.9, and Simon Fryer leads the blocks at 0.6. So, thoughts on this game, guys?
Someone would say some of those stats are crispy.
Okay, it's a joke over now.
Yeah.
No, we're going to keep crisping this along.
Dude, it's on an island of its own for the Islanders.
You know what? The Colonel's 11 herbs and spices can't save the crispiness of this. But
I'm gonna get a Rice Krispie treat. I'll be right back. I didn't get one, so there you go.
Oh, now I want a Rice Krispie treat. Thanks, Mark. Now I'm craving them.
No, you don't deserve one right now for that crispy crommet. But you'll get it right eventually, Bill. I think you're getting it down right now. You know what? Give me the Christie team.
Christie.
It's crispy.
Yeah, give me.
It's crispy.
You know what? They're gonna crisp their way to victory and get the win.
They might have the hot hand.
We just say this: the winner of this game gets to play Kansas. That's your reward. Your reward for winning this game is Kansas.
Congratulations! You're most likely going to get your ass kicked. Have fun.
What?
Give me Texas Southern.
Well, we've now covered the first four. Let's jump right into the South. And our boy, Danny Boy Reggie.
Hang on.
Oh, you only covered one game?
I thought we were talking about it each time. My apologies. Okay, second game is the Cowboys of Wyoming versus the Hoosiers of Indiana. Now, the Wyoming Cowboys points, 73 points per game, 35.8 rebounds a game, 11.4 assists. Steals per game, 4.0. Blocks per game, 2.0. Turnovers, 11.1. 45.8 field goal percentage, 72.7 free throw percentage, and 34.3 three-point percentage. And the leaders for that team are Graham Ike at 19.6 points. Graham Ike leads also rebounds at 9.6. Hunter Maladano leads assists at 6.3. He also leads steals at 1.2, and Jeremiah Owen leads blocks at 0.8. For the Hoosiers of the great state of Indiana.
Hey, you better not badmouth Indiana. That's where family's from.
No, I'm sure that I've never been to Indiana. I'm sure they're a lovely state. Okay, for the state of Indiana. Okay. God, I have too many tabs open right now. Come on. Okay, for the Hoosiers of the University of Indiana, we have for points 71.5, 36.3 rebounds, 14.9 assists, 5.7 steals per game, 5.0 blocks, 11.9 turnovers, 45.9 field goal percentage, 69.9 free throw percentage, and 33.9 3-point percentage. Now going into the other playing game, Wright State versus Bryant versus the Bryant Bulldogs versus the Wright State Raiders. We have 77.9 points per game, 41.5 rebounds, 14.1 assists, 6.3 steals, 4.5 blocks, 13.9 turnovers, 43.7 field goal percentage, 73.3 free throw percentage, 30.8 3-point percentage. And for the Wright State Raiders, we have. Oh, wait, I forgot something. For the Bryant Bulldogs point leaders.
Bill, just keep going.
Okay, good idea. Okay, for the Wright State Raiders, Tanner Holday, okay, for points, 75.5 per game, 34.9 rebounds, 13.9 assists, 5.8 steals, 2.9 blocks, turnovers 12.3, 46.5 field goal percentage, 76% free throw percentage, 32.9 3-point percentage. And the last one is the Rutgers Scarlet Knights and the Fightin' Irish, how appropriate, because St. Patrick's Day is this Thursday, and the Fightin' Irish of Notre Dame. For the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, 67.9 points per game, 35.4 rebounds per game, 15.0 assists, 7.2 steals, 3.9 blocks, 11.5 turnovers, 44.3 field goal percentage, 70.1 free throw, and 33.6 3-pointers. And for the Notre Dame Fightin' Irish, 72.5, 34.1, 72.5 points, 34.1 rebounds, 14.2 assists, 5.1 steals, 1.9 blocks, 10.3 turnovers, 46.2% field goal, 75.8 free throw, and 38.0 3-points. And those are our games for Tuesday, March 15th, and Wednesday, March 16th. Gentlemen?
All right, since we covered the great state of Texas already.
In more ways than one.
Yes. We're going to give the dubs to, my personal opinion, we're going to give it to Indiana. Heading into Wednesday, we're going to give it to Bryant. Then we're going to give it to Rutgers to get their bids into the NCAA tournament.
I'm liking Rutgers also.
I like Wyoming over Indiana. I don't trust Indiana. They haven't played consistently all year. Give me
Consistent
Wyoming.
is the right word, too.
I love some of Indiana's players. I love Trace Jackson Davis. He can play. Race Thompson can play. But give me the Cowboys. And give me Rutgers. Rutgers went on a roll earlier this year where they beat 4 consecutive ranked opponents.
Right.
I trust Steve Piquel a lot, the coach of Rutgers, who used to be the coach at Stony Brook.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he just got a contract extension.
Good for him.
Yeah, for those games, I'm actually gonna go with Indiana. For the Notre Dame's, I'm just bouncing around here.
You're gonna take Notre Dame. We get it.
Yes, Bill, we know.
You know, Bill, you're taking Notre Dame.
How'd you know?
Because you look like a damn leprechaun.
Oh, Mike, don't be so personal.
Listen, we're not doing impressions here right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Bryant versus Wright State and Corpus Christi.
Danny boy.
Hey, yeah, give me. I feel like Rutgers not getting a lot of respect here. Give me Rutgers. The tri-stater in me wants to pull for Rutgers, so I'll take that. Wright State. This is technically a home game for them since they're in Dayton. I'll take Wright State with the crowd advantage. I want Mike Woodson to win for Indiana. Okay, look, he's a good coach. He's had a very successful season so far. Give me Indiana. And then Texas Southern. I'll take them to win that game.
All right. Now with the first 4 play-in games discussed, we're going to throw up to Danny Boy to cover the South.
Okay.
Danny Boy, floor is yours.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so Arizona gets the number 1 seed. I believe they're the number 1 overall, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not.
Okay, yeah. So they're the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. They will be facing again a Wright State versus Brown. The winner of that game will move on to face Arizona. Poor souls on those teams. So one thing to note about Arizona, Benedict Mathurin. I mean, he's had an incredible season, averaging 17 points a game. He's been playing very well for them. So Arizona, this should be an easy game for Arizona as long as they can rely on him and all the other role players to play as well as they have been all season long. So then we got that guy. I can't. My eyes are killing me here. Villanova versus Delaware. There will be Pittsburgh. Also in Pittsburgh, Houston, UAB. Seton Hall is going to face TCU. Now, again, the tri-stater in me is like, really hoping Seton Hall can pull something out there. So, let's see. Let's see. It's an 8 versus 9, so you never know like which way it can go and stuff. Let's see. Illinois versus Chattanooga. This is a 4 versus 13. Colorado versus my father's Michigan Wolverines.
Oh, Wolves.
Yes.
I love Michigan.
I love Michigan too.
I don't know if Michigan should be here, man.
Yeah, I mean that's what people have been saying. Like, why?
That's the one I have a hard time with.
I mean, yeah, Michigan. They got an 11 seed. Based on their record and the fact that they just had a really tough schedule and they, are 3 games over 500.
And they're in the tournament.
I kind of have an issue with that for them being 11, but what can you do? I guess the strength of schedule is factors into many
just for Colorado State, just don't get into the handshake line against Michigan. That's all I'm gonna say.
I gotta say, no matter what Michigan does in sports, it seems we always say they shouldn't be here, or they shouldn't be this high ranked. Whether it comes to basketball or football.
Yeah.
But in this particular year, it's kind of mind-boggling how they're in the tournament. That's all.
Yeah, I guess. Michigan's longtime rival, Ohio State. They're facing Loyola Chicago in a 7-10 matchup.
This is Loyola Chicago, a fighting Sister Jean's.
Yeah, I mean, if Sister Jean, here's the thing with Sister Jean. If she travels against these games, which I really hope she does, because she's a big-ass sports figure across the country. So she should definitely get involved.
Fanatics is possibly doing her own card this year, and she will autograph them.
God bless her. Seriously.
That's amazing.
I know it was on the list of cards to be made.
Yeah, so that might be a trap game there for Ohio State. They're a 7 seed. Loyola Chicago's the 10th seed. Loyola Chicago in the Missouri Valley Conference, and obviously Ohio State in the Big Ten. And then you got Tennessee versus Longwood. Longwood out of Virginia, and then it's Tennessee Volunteers. You know, they've played so well. I mean, I know they got the 3 seed. And
they could have been the 2.
They could have been the 2.
I know some people were very upset that they got the 3 seed. I think they were underseeded. That's what they're saying.
They should have been the 2, but a lot of people had them at 3 even before this. So
yeah, did win the SEC tournament today. So.
Yes.
Shout out Rick Barnes, great coach, Rick Barnes.
Yeah. All right, well that's your South region. Obviously, everyone is choosing Arizona to get out of the South and head to the Final Four. Honestly, though, like the way Tennessee's been playing the past couple of weeks, I mean, you know, you never really know. Like that to me is, you know, one of those things that, you know, I would definitely watch out for if I'm Arizona.
And you said Villanova's there too, correct?
Yeah, they're the 2 seed against.
Don't sleep
Delaware.
on Villanova.
Yeah,
Always a powerhouse in the tournament.
Yeah, Jay Wright, fantastic coach.
Also, Illinois, you got to look out for. Illinois is always, if they make it, they are a semi-sleeper team.
I love Kofi Cockburn, but I'm hearing a lot of people taking Chattanooga to upset them.
All right.
The only reason why I'm having Tennessee, they've won 15 of their last 17.
Yeah,
Like,
they've had a nice run.
They're playing pretty well, and you know they did a good job in that SEC tournament. So
I also hear they volunteer a lot.
And the punt master makes an appearance.
Well, with that said, I know one person will be watching the South very closely. SIN's family friend Big Al is a big Arizona fan, so he will be very happy if Arizona can win it all, and he'll be a happy Arizona fan.
Yes.
Going over to Mike Rifkin for coverage in the next region.
All right, so I got the Midwest, where your number 1 seed are the Kansas Jayhawks, coached by Bill Self. For Kansas on the season, they're led by Ochai Agbaji with 19.7 points per game. Up front, they got Jalen Wilson and David McCormick, who both average over 10 points and 7 rebounds. So Kansas is a powerhouse every year. They have some really good wins whether it was blitzing Baylor at home. Yeah, they have some other really good wins. They've also had a terrible blowout loss to Kentucky, but they seem to have gotten over that. Kansas is a very good basketball team. The 2 seed are the Auburn Tigers, coached by Bruce Pearl. Jabari Smith, who's probably in the running for the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft. 17.1 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game. And Walker Kessler, who honestly, I don't know how he doesn't average a triple-double, averages 11.7 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, and 4.5 blocks per game, mainly because he's like 8 feet tall.
And like Olajuwon numbers on those blocks.
He is such a stud on the inside, along with Smith. They shoot the ball really well. They defend really well. Also in this bracket, you have San Diego State University, who is number 1 in the NCAA in points allowed. They only give up 57.2 points per game. You also have South Dakota State University. So you have 2 SDSUs. If you try to say that really fast, it sounds terribly. But South Dakota State averages 86.7 points per game, which is 2nd in the nation, trailing only Gonzaga, who we will talk about later. Iowa's also in this bracket. They average 84 points per game, which is 4th in the nation. One of the players to watch for Iowa maybe one of the best players in the nation. Keegan Murray, 23.7 points per game, 8.6 rebounds per game. Iowa also shoots 37.1% from three. So the bracket breaks down like this. You got Kansas versus the winner of Texas Southern or Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Not Corpus Crispy. It's Corpus Christi. That's your 116 matchup. Your 8-9 is San Diego State versus Creighton. That's your 8-9. I like San Diego State. I think defense wins in that one. Iowa takes on Richmond. I believe that's either the 4-13 or 5-12. Providence versus South Dakota State. Providence, off a great year, won the Big East regular season title, coached by Ed Cooley, who's probably the coolest coach in college basketball. LSU versus Iowa State. If you're betting, you're going to take Iowa State here, even though they're the lower seed. LSU is a team in turmoil. They just fired their coach yesterday after some NCAA allegations came out. So take Iowa State. Wisconsin, who's kind of a dark horse here to win the entire region, versus Colgate, your 3-14. Your 7-10 matchup is USC versus Miami. I love the Hurricanes. I love Jim Larinaga, who used to coach George Mason. Miami comes in. They have a really talented squad led by Cameron McGusty, who averages 17.6 points per game. USC is Isaiah Mobley, whose brother Evan was a first-round pick last year in the NBA draft. Isaiah should be this year, but take Miami. And then Auburn against Jacksonville State's the 2-15. Jacksonville State could totally compete with Auburn if they shoot the ball well, but give me the Tigers to roll. And I'll tell you, if we're looking at the bracket here as a whole, if we're going to go sleeper, I like San Diego State. But I'm going to go with Auburn winning the Midwest as a whole. I think Bruce Pearl's got a really good team.
You think they can beat Kansas?
Walker Kessler's a difference maker. What?
I said, you think they can beat Kansas?
I love Kansas. I love what Kansas has with Abaji, Wilson, McCormick, Christian Braun, who I don't think is related to Ryan Braun in any way, shape, or form.
I don't think so.
But my thing on Kansas is there's always that game in the tournament where they don't play up to Kansas's par. And I really think Auburn's a team. They played so well this year. Even when they lost games, they were really competitive in those games. So I could see Auburn winning this bracket. I don't know if they will, but I'll say right now, I wouldn't be shocked if Auburn won it. But I'm going to take Auburn. My dark horse is going to be San Diego State with their defense.
I like San Diego State, but give me Creighton. Creighton comes out the Big East.
Creighton
the
could
Big East
be. I think on Creighton's going to be this. Listen, Creighton can play. And that's going to be dictated on tempo because Creighton wants to go. San Diego State wants to slow you down. So whoever could set tempo in that game. Same thing for Providence, South Dakota. Whoever sets the tone pace-wise can make a real difference because either one of those teams could also win this bracket, Providence or South Dakota State.
So you're saying a 13 seed can make the Final Four?
Never say never, Patchy.
It can happen.
It can happen.
It can happen. It can't happen.
Depends on which way the little orange ball bounces,
I agree with Dan. I think Creighton can be a sleeper team. I'm pulling for Wisconsin since, little Green Bay blood in me is rooting for Wisconsin. And then also you have to look at Kansas and Auburn as well, because those two teams always find themselves in a Final Four situation. Bill, any thoughts?
Yeah. I want to just say about Auburn. I think Auburn is a sleeper team right now. I think they could probably win this whole thing.
It'll be interesting. I mean, as Mike said, Auburn does have a very powerful team. I am personally linking myself to the Jayhawks, but if the two of them face up, it depends on how they play throughout the tournament. but it could change as easy as one little basket not going in. So we'll see.
All right. Heading east, we're going to head to the east with me. I have the east. And we're going to kick it off with your reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champions of the 2021 season, the Baylor University, going against number 16, Norfolk State. Baylor comes into the season 26-6. A player to look out for is Dale Bonner. In his junior year, he averaged 20.2 points per season. So I give him the star player on that team to look out for, in my opinion. Once again, Baylor 2021 champs. So they're back here to go on the course to repeat. And it might be a journey in the East. Then for Norfolk State, they come into the season 24-6. You got to look out for Joe Bryant Jr. in his junior year, 11.1 points per game. So I give him a star player to look out for. And Norfolk State comes in to the tournament. They lost last year to Gonzaga, I believe, if memory serves me right.
And I think you're correct.
So that's the 1 seed versus the 16th seed. Heading next, we got North Carolina against Marquette. North Carolina, the season 24-9. And then they lost last year to Wisconsin 85-62 in the tournament. Marquette 19-12, first appearance since 2019. Then we got St. Mary as the 5th seed going against the winner of Wyoming University and Indiana University. St. Mary 25-7 this year, first appearance since 2019. Wyoming University 25-8 this year. If they win, it will be their first appearance in the tournament since 2015. Indiana University is 20-13 this year. If they win, it's their first appearance since 2016. Heading next, you got the number 6 seed Texas versus the number 11 seed Virginia Tech. Texas 21-11. Timmy Allen averaged 12.3 points, their leading scorer this year. Last appearance was 2021. Last year, lost to number 14 Albine Christian. Virginia Tech 23-12 this year, lost last year to Florida 70-75. Your next matchup is the 13th seed, the 3rd seed Purdue versus number 14 seed Yale. Purdue was 27-7 this year. They lost to North Texas 69-78 in overtime last year. Yale 16-11. They lost last year. Last appearance was 2019, and they lost to LSU 74-79. And then next matchup, you got Murray State, which is the 7th seed against number 10 San Francisco. Murray State 13-13 this year. Weird record to make it into the tournament, but then again, that depends on your conference you're in and all that hoopla. 2019 was their last appearance. They beat Marquette 83-64, and then they lost to Florida State 90-62. San Francisco State 24-9 this year. First appearance since 1998. So the drought is over for San Francisco State, where when they last appearance, they lost to Utah 68-85. And then to wrap up the East, you got Kentucky against St. Peter's. Kentucky 26-7. First appearance since 2019, but as we all know, 2020, I think it was actually 2020. We all know what happened.
Yes.
We all know what happened there. Last time they played a game in the tournament, 2018, where they lost in the Elite Eight to Auburn 77-71. And then for St. Peter's, they were 19-11 this year. First appearance since 2011, where they lost to Purdue in the first round, 65-43. To me, there are a couple of teams you must look out for. Of course, Baylor. Come on. Reigning champions.
Absolutely.
Gonna most likely get themselves to the Final Four. Another team you gotta look out for is Texas. Texas is a weird team, as always, when it comes to basketball, because they can also find themselves on a run. Interestingly enough, Purdue, 3rd seed. Purdue has a great basketball program in my book. And then also you got to look out for Kentucky as a second seed. Kentucky. Mark Oldupsky Alpern, what do you think about the East?
Well, when you look at it, the two teams that stand out, obviously, you got Baylor. You're not going to deny them any chance. And obviously, Kentucky's going to make a run. But the team that I am actually watching is UCLA. And I know a lot of people are probably like, what? Who? I've watched them play. I watched them move the ball. They got a nice young team. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but I think they're going to go farther than people expect.
Yeah, Mark, I actually have to tell you something. My friend Allie, if you're watching, shout out to you. She actually has UCLA going to the Final Four.
I don't know if they can go to the Final Four, but I think they can make a run. So, Allie, I'm hoping for you that my prediction's right. Danny, what are you thinking about these?
About which one?
The East. What Patrick was just talking about.
Oh, the East. I mean, honestly, I see, Virginia Tech in there. North Carolina's in it too. Look, I know Baylor is probably the favorite, but don't sleep on the North Carolinas and the Texases and the Kentucky's. Kentucky's had a great season too. So I want to pull for North Carolina though. There's something about North Carolina that smells like they want to get back to the Final Four, like they're really hungry for it.
Does it have a real tarry type smell?
Exactly. Exactly.
You really keep them on their heels, don't you?
Yeah. By the way, good for Murray State, 30-2. They got the 7th seed, so they're going to match up against San Francisco there. It's going to be a pretty good matchup there. I don't know about UCLA going to win, but they can definitely move forward into that championship round at the Eastern region for sure. They can definitely do it.
Mike Rifkin. Yeah, Mike Rifkin. Any thoughts on the East?
I love Purdue, man. Jay Ivy's one of the best point guards in the nation, averaging 17.3 points per game. Zach Edey on the interior averages 15 and 7 and a couple of blocks. And they shoot over 39% from three as a team. And Matt Painter's a really good coach. I like Purdue. Make a nice run.
All right. Mark old guys. Can't say words right now.
Oh, you don't get a ding. You just get a bong for that one.
I get a gong to the head. All right, fine. Old Ops guy, wrap it up for us.
All right. Well, Old Ops guy has got the West, and I'm going to say it right now. Gonzaga's winning it. I have said this from the beginning of the season. Gonzaga is opening up against number 16, Georgia State. Unfortunate for them, but Gonzaga finished the year 26-3. Drew Tim led them with 17.5 points, and Chet Holmgren leads them with 9.5 rebounds a game. Both of them are prime players to be in the NBA, and I expect to see them both soon. Georgia State, I wish them well. Corey Allen has been averaging 14.7 for them, and Jalen Thomas averaging 6.1 rebounds a game. They're not expected to win. They're not expected to go far, but they're in the tournament. That's more than they can say for most teams. Good luck to them. The next matchup is we have number 8 Boise State against 9 Memphis. This to me is going to be a better game than a lot of people are predicting. The Memphis Tigers have their leading point person is their center is Jalen Duran, who's leading with 12-2. He averages 8 rebounds a game, and he averages 2.2 blocks. He is, I believe, 7'1". He should be averaging almost a triple-double every game. Going up with Boise State, I'm going to butcher the hell out of this guy's name. Abu Kabab at 14.7 and Maiden Amias at 7.9 rebounds a game. Two good teams. It's going to be a fight. I still think Memphis will beat Boise State in that game. Next up, you got UConn. We'll be taking on number 12, Mexico State. UConn is led by, RJ Cole at 15.7 rebounds a game and Adama Sanago at 8.9 rebounds a game. You know, it's nice to have a good forward who can not only put up points, but he also is putting up rebounds. Adama's also putting up 14.9 points a game, and that's going to be a big help when going to face, pardon me, got stuck there, going to face New Mexico. All right, what a day.
Yeah, you're fine. Go continue.
Yeah, I know. For New Mexico, we got Teddy Allen at 19.3 points a game, and he is also the leading rebounder. Mind you, Teddy Allen's a guard. Any guy who can lead his team in points and rebound and be a guard, I love it. It's fun. It's exciting. Let's keep it going. After that, Alabama will be, we have number 4 Arkansas playing number 13 Vermont. And we see that being, you know, a very, very fast game. I'd see Arkansas walking away with it. J.D. Note at 18.4 and Jalen Williams at 9.6 rebounds a game. You know, Vermont, Ryan Davis does have 17.2 a game, and Isaiah Powell is their leading rebounder at 6.3. Alabama, will be waiting for the result of Rutgers and Notre Dame, and as I and a bunch of guys have predicted, Rutgers should be facing them. Alabama now has a nice little wait. We'll see what happens with them, and we'll see who they will be playing up against. The next game we have is Texas Tech will be taking on Montana State. Texas Tech is led by Bryson Williams. At 13.7 points a game, Kevin Abiniar, God, I butchered your name. I am so sorry. 5 rebounds a game. For Montana State, Xavier Bishop at 13.9 points a game, and Jubri Balo at 6.8 is their premier rebounder, and will be playing as hard as he can to win that game, but Texas Tech should be moving on easily. Next game, Michigan State versus Davidson. I don't know about this one. This is just an interesting game. Davidson's led by Foster Lawyer at 16.6 points a game, and Luca, God, your last name, 7.1 rebounds a game. I'm sorry, you don't deserve to be destroyed like that. For the good old Michigan State Spartans, Gabe Brown at 11.4 and Marcus Brigham Jr. at 6.1 rebounds a game. A little thing about Gabe Brown, he has been playing at a high level all season. I just would like to see him get into it a little bit more. His 3-point standard needs to be a little bit more better than 37.3. He's a much better shooter than that. And tying it out, number 2 Duke faces off against Cal State Fullerton. The Duke levels are led by Paolo Banchero at 17 points a game, and he also leads them in rebounds at 7.8. And for Cal State Fullerton, why? I get the division with the guys with the hardest names. I feel like I'm reading hockey here. EJ Anoski for 16.5 points a game, and he also leads in rebounds. I think he'll be in the NBA pretty soon. When I take a look at the West region, give me a second. When I take a look at this West region, as I said, Gonzaga, I have winning it all the way. However, you can't count out teams. Texas Tech. You can't not look at Duke. And you want to know what? A team that's going to make some noise, UConn. I think UConn is primed for a run. We'll see. Patchy, what are you thinking about the West?
Gonzaga, probably the favorite to get to the Final Four. There's no favorite NCAA men's basketball team, Gonzaga, then it's Wisconsin. I'll just throw that out there, get that done with. If you're looking at a potential team to make a run, Davidson, if they can get Davidson is another weird college team that finds themselves in the NCAA tournament and they win in the round of 64. You can find them getting to the, round of 32, then the Sweet 16. And then after that, it's like, can they capitalize, get themselves to the Elite Eight, then move on? Also, look in the West, you got Duke. It's a certain coach's last year. Are they the ones to, dethrone
Would that
Gonzaga?
be the most fitting ending for Coach K.
It would be a fairy tale ending to a phenomenal coaching career if Coach K can take Duke to the finals and win it all. To me, you have to, you know what, right now, look out for Duke, because Duke is going to do everything in their power to give Coach K one final championship.
And I think that game that you're going to look at where it's going to be decided is I think Duke will meet Texas Tech, and it's going to come down to that game for Coach K.
Yeah. Bill, any thoughts?
I agree with the point that Mark made, that I think UConn can really make a run here, but I'm really not counting out Duke here because it's Coach K's final year. I'm sure he wants to go out with a championship, but I don't know how likely that's going to be, but we're going to have to wait and see. But I think Duke is going to be wanting to give Coach K that one last ride off into the sunset, cutting down the net.
Danny boy.
Yeah, I'm looking out for UConn. By the way, good for UConn. You know, their first year back in the Big East, and they're in the NCAA tournament. So I'm really happy that everything's working out for them. So good for them. I'm still really pulling for Rutgers here. Rutgers can beat Notre Dame, and if they beat Notre Dame, they may not necessarily have a great matchup with Alabama, but you never know. It's the NCAA tournament. You never really know. I'm watching. I'm really going to be watching out here. This 8 and 9 seed game, Boise State versus Memphis. That's going to be another one of those games where it's going to be like, it's really interesting. I don't know which way to go.
I'm still trying to make a decision on that one. I've been going back and forth for since the tournament opened.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully Memphis can pull it off.
That would be nice.
That'd be really nice for good old Coach Hardaway there. And then obviously the big story here, Coach K in his final season as coach at Duke. They have a game versus the Fullerton, and look, obviously Duke is always going to be a contender for, at the very least, the finalists in their region. So, you know, if they manage to go to the national championship, it'll be a feel good story for Duke. It really will be. Ultimately, just like Old Ops guy, I'm going with Gonzaga to get out of the West. And hope for the best for all the other teams because Gonzaga is pretty dangerous.
There's only one person left.
Come on, Rifkin.
All right. So I don't know if you mentioned this, but Gonzaga is also first in points per game, field goal percentage, third in rebounds, fifth in blocks. So they're pretty good.
And as usual, I get put down by Mike.
You're welcome. They're pretty good at basketball. The team, I don't know how you pick against Gonzaga. Look, I don't know if Duke makes that run for Coach K, but I could totally see it happening. The committee did them no favors by putting them in the same bracket as Gonzaga.
No, not at all.
But here's the thing. If Michigan State gets by Davidson and Duke gets by Fullerton, we get Tom Izzo versus Coach K for the last time.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that.
Two coaching legends. So
yes,
there's that. The team I like Texas Tech. They defend really well. Mark Adams has done a really good job. It was a tough situation when Chris Beard left for Texas. So I like Gonzaga, but if there's a team out there, it's Texas Tech. They're athletic and they defend really well.
All right. Well, I think that covers all of us, Patchy.
I think that does. I want to throw a question out there now. If it were to happen for the second time in the tournament's history, which 16th seed can you see becoming the second team to upset the number 1 seed?
Okay, so your 4 number ones are Gonzaga, Arizona, Kansas, and Baylor.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there for
It's not
the
going to be.
listeners.
It's not going to be Georgia State. I'll tell you that much.
It will not be Georgia State.
You know what? I'm going to say I don't believe I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Norfolk. What the hell?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was thinking
What the
that too.
hell? Norfolk State to upset Baylor.
I know what? I'm in agreement. I can see Norfolk State becoming the one to become number 2.
I mean, the amount. I mean, I can't even picture what the prop bet would be on that. 75,000 to 1. I take those odds. I put $1 down on that.
You know, I'm going to go with the winner of Texas Southern versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
You keep throwing salt in the wound there, don't you?
Oh, come on, Bill. You know
Dude,
it's going to have to happen until
how
the
do you like your
podcast
Jayhawk
ends.
cooked? Crispy or grilled?
Oh, let's have it grilled. I got to watch my cholesterol.
Marinated.
Oh, of course there's a marinade on it. Come on.
Marinade and air fried.
Oh, hey.
I would air fry.
All right. With that said, that is our Bill.
Wait.
Oh, I didn't answer. I'm going to agree with Mike on this one. I say, if anything, it probably could be Texas Southern or Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Hey, you got it right.
I got it right.
Woohoo!
Now we leave him on his own little island.
You're going to Waterloo me?
No. But they're called the Islanders, so I'm leaving you on an island.
All right. With that said, that is SIN's reaction to the men's tournament bracket announcement. We are once again in the midst of March Madness Extravaganza on SIN. We will be getting ready to do more coverage of March Madness starting, I believe, next Wednesday after the last game of the 4th playing game has concluded, where we will react to the 4 teams that have played. And then we might be live for Thursday and Friday all day, but we'll keep you guys posted on that. For with that said, make sure you keep us on all social medias for the network. Dan, what are those?
All right, so you can go to Twitter, follow us at SInsanityReal. That's at SInsanityReal. And then search Sports Sanity Network on Facebook.
And if you want to read all our blogs or know about the history of SIN, you can go to the website www.thesportsinsanitynetwork.com. I am President Lawrence Patchman Lang.
I'm Bill Murphy.
I am Vice President Danny Boy Reginald. Let's go, Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
I am Chief Financial Officer Mark Old Guy Halpern. Peace.
I don't have a cool title, but I'm Mike Rifkin.
You're the pun master. That's the greatest title in the world.
That's true.
You're Mike the Pun Master. Mike the Pun Master Rifkin.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We will see you guys soon. Danny Boy, take us out.
All right, peace, folks.
Namaste.